Madlib Shades of Blue. Madlib. He invades Blue Note. This is an album that I first found when I was just kind of browsing through Madlib's discography. And this kind of stood out to me, and I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. And I saw it at my local record shop, one of them, and it was actually filed under the jazz section, which made me think that this would be more jazzy than it actually is. And it is also a double album. Both this and Mad Villainy are, I guess, double albums because it's on 2 records when I got it. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so I won't be able to pull out the record very well, but it's just kind of black. It's got a generic Blue Note label. It's not very exciting, but and I don't know if they're actually like the length of a double album or whatever. Both those, I don't think Mad Villainy is either, but just the way they print them kind of comes on these double albums, and it's got 75 years of Blue Note. It has all these fucking Blue Note things, and the reason I was excited to listen to this album was because of fucking Blue Note. And Blue Note are a long-running jazz label that I honestly don't know like everything about their history, but they have made some of my favorite jazz albums. So I was curious to see where Madlib, Mr. Lib here, would take inspiration from with all these songs. And because it was in the jazz section, I thought it would be more jazzy than it actually was. This is very, very hip-hop until like the later half. Like this side 4 here, I would say is a bit more jazzy, or is like less boom bap hip hop. Like it has less of that kick. It's more instrumental. And these are all really good. Now, I admittedly haven't listened to this in like a month or something. I'm showing it off now, so I don't remember everything here. But Madlib has just a great production style, where it's just, it feels, all the instruments and all the just what he does with the sound and how he samples, it just feels so natural, and it's just kind of these more natural sounding instruments than most hip hop producers or whatever. And I'm not the biggest hip hop head out there, I'll admit. I only really got into it recently. And the only song here that I really remember the sounding is the Song for My Father. And Song for My Father is one of my favorite albums that was on Blue Note. And his rendition of it is really, really weird. I was not expecting that kind of sound. It's very, very chill and like almost off the beat, and is not what I would expect from just being familiar with that album. It's kind of punchy. It's more punchy, direct, straightforward hard bop, and hearing this weird like laid back thing with the flute. It took me a bit to really kind of for it to grow on me, and I'd still prefer the original, of course, but it's just interesting. I'll say that. Kind of interesting also how they have this like, oh, this is like an old album. They got the old Blue Note albums here. It's just like it just looks really flat on this like cardboard sleeve. The cover itself looks a lot better. And this has a ton of interludes with like sound clips of people talking about Blue Note, like sound clips from what I guess are like radio shows of people like, Blue Note history and blah 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 blah, and other random clips with Madlib, where they reference Madlib. Oh, there's an invasion going on. He's invading Blue Note. Stuff like that. That I guess you would expect from Madlib. And he's just a great producer, and it's cool to check out his palette like this and to kind of apply it in this concept album of Blue Note, I guess. So this is solid. It's kind of hip-hop and jazz, and if you'll pay attention to this channel more, then I'll be talking a lot more jazz than hip-hop, and hopefully they won't be as short and to the point as this, but I kind of want to just get something out there on this channel, even though I haven't really listened to this recently. I haven't listened to any record recently. That's kind of been on the back seat, even though my dad just keeps sending me stuff. Like, Jesus Christ.